Hi guys, today in this tutorial we are going to create this beautiful interactive map. We will start by building this content card with an auto layout, make it as a component of course that we can work with later on. We will build these chips as interactive components, simple one but of course very functional, and we will do the interaction as so. When I drag this card, so as you see, I can walk through the map, or it takes me to all the points where it's relevant. Okay, so beautiful interaction, and we're gonna do it with a drag interaction and also with a tap interaction. I can tap on each one and it takes me through the map, something like this. Okay, great. And I'm not gonna focus on building this upper part, okay, which I did. I'm gonna place it. You have a link to the materials of the tutorial, so no problem. You can just download it and see how I built it, because I don't want to waste time in the tutorial building this one and this one, which is pretty simple. I'm not gonna focus on this interaction, on dragging this up, and so we are going to focus on building these content cards using auto layout and the animation as you see here. Okay, so let's get to it. Materials. So materials, I have here an image of a map. You can use any map that you want, Google Map. You can use a plugin in Figma, which is called Mapsicle. Actually, yeah, this one. Okay, ran open Mapsicle. It sends you to get a token from Mapbox website. You can easily do it. It's no big deal. You can put any address that you want here, and you can focus in it. Okay, and you can set the zoom also by number here. You can set the width of the image, like what's the size of the image you want to render from it. You have different views of it. You can do like so or like so, as you want. Okay, all the options that it gives you here. And you can also tilt the map. Let's say if I put here 40, so or maybe more, like that. Okay, so you can tilt the map actually and move it like here. This 80 is too much, but let's give it 50, so you can do something like that if you want, which is perfectly fine. Okay, and here is the rotation. So you can use either this plugin. You can use Snazzy Maps, by the way. It's also a great website of creating free colored maps, and you can customize them as you want. Okay, so material wise, I took a screen as a reference from Airbnb, which I believe you're all familiar with. So this is just kind of like a reference to it. I built this upper part here using auto layout and the way it should be built here. So again, you download just these materials and you can see exactly how I built it. And we have the bottom card, which is pretty simple actually, and we have the images we're going to use. We're going to look today for castles. So that's okay, that's great. And we're going to use this map as the map which we are going to animate with the cards and these chips. Okay, so let's start by building the card. So by building the card, basically if I'm taking this one as a reference, I can just open a frame on it. I have the size, and that's about all I need from this one. Something like that. It doesn't have to be identical. It needs to be kind of like built properly. Let's put it like that. Okay, so that's the main idea. And we're gonna give it, let's say 20. No, 20 is too much. Let's give it a 10 pixel round corners, 10, 14, something like that. Yeah, that's okay. And we're gonna do a rectangle here, something like that. Okay, good. Here is where the image is going to sit. Sometimes I just like to put a rectangle and then I'm going to copy and paste the properties of the image I'm going to use exactly on this rectangle. So it's pretty comfortable to work like that. That's a technique that I'm using a lot of times. And now we can actually place a star. Okay, let's place a star. We can give it the same color as Airbnb did. That's okay. We're gonna put it here. Now I'm gonna use the text to do. I'll give the same numbers as them. It doesn't matter actually. That's a 5. Why does it look weird? 1 second. Yeah, because I made two O's. So it looked weird. So that's okay. 14, yeah, we can give it a 12. I don't like to give a 12 on mobile, but if it's seen okay, we need to check it on mobile and see after how it looks. And if it doesn't look good enough, then we can always make it bigger. Let's give it a regular, and I'm gonna duplicate that and do the 6 reviews. Okay, now I take these 3 and Shift A or right click, add auto layout, and then I can make the, of course, the spacing between them like so. Yeah, something like that. And I have this one that we will call, let's call it rating and reviews. Okay, so basically this is going to be an auto layout which holds all these parts as auto layouts as well. Now the text actually is going to be like so. Call it some place name. Okay, and this is going to be, let's give it a 14 by size, and I'm gonna, yeah, I'll leave it on regular, or maybe give it some kind of like of a medium. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter that much. Let's leave it at 14 for now. Now the place name, by the way, I'm gonna show you what Figma did here. Figma actually gave, if you're not familiar with it, the option to select not the fixed size and not the auto height, but I can select the truncate text. Okay, and the truncate text, what it does actually is, if I'm going to keep on typing here some very long text name, okay, so what it does, it's very, okay, so it leaves it on one line, but it's truncated. Okay, so that's pretty cool because no matter which name is going to be here, you're always going to end up with those 3 dots, and you don't have to write it yourself or do anything for it to function like that, which is happening exactly like it happens actually in an online applications, softwares, and websites, and so on. Okay, so this is the second, some very long text name, or let's more right to say some very long place name. Yeah, that's more right to say. And now I'm gonna do this one. So this one I'm gonna write as, let's give it 179. Oh, sorry, I forgot the dollar sign. Yeah, like so. And let's give it a semi-bold, which is going to be like that. Actually, I want this one at 16. And now I'm gonna duplicate it and put the slash, and the slash is going to be in regular, and I'm gonna duplicate it again and night. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is auto layout all these 3, and then I can play with this spacing between elements in the auto layout and do it like so. The reason I'm doing it like that, if you're asking yourself why, is that I can easily change the spaces between them, and even if the price here is going to be a long price, let's do it by numbers more, right? Something like that. So I mean, you're not going to pay that for a night probably, but anyway, but I'm just saying that it's adjustable and you can change it easily, so it's very comfortable to work like that. We're gonna call this auto layout basically price per, let's call it per night for now, or the price in general. Okay, that's okay. And this one actually, we're gonna label it. You know what? We can give it actually with properties, we can give it a label. And by the way, you can change here the name for, let's say, place name. Okay, and of course in each component you can just manually change this text or turn it into a property. And now we're going to do the last one, which is going to be first, like that. Okay, and this can be an auto layout. We can shift A, make it an auto layout. We can minimize the auto padding that it gave it, because when you give an auto layout to one element, it gives it an auto padding of 10 and 10. Of course, we can minimize it on the top and bottom for I guess 4, that's okay. We can leave it at 10. Let's give it a stroke. Okay, give the stroke on a light gray like that. Give it some round corners. And there we go. Now this one actually, yeah, it's 14, that's okay. Yeah, I like it like that. And actually, we're gonna do all this in an auto layout, which holds actually details. Okay, so we have the details auto layout. Oh, sorry, I wanted to include this one as well. Details, and actually we can minimize a bit the, okay, that's okay. That's looking good. And we have the details and we have the, let's see how it looks. Yeah, it looks perfect. That's okay. I mean, here I made the price bigger than Airbnb did it, but I think that for mobile, I like it a bit bigger. Okay, that's good. And basically, we're done with that. I'm gonna shift A, auto layout on this one. And the auto layout actually, we're gonna give it a round corners of, 1 second. Let's call it a content place content card. Okay, and we're gonna give it a clip content. You see, when I disable the clip content, so it doesn't cover here the corners, and when I click on it again, so it covers the corners of that rectangle where the image should be. And actually the auto layout, because it's in a hug mode, so it went a bit shorter, so we'll make it like that. Let's see that we're good with our map. Yes, yeah, that's okay. We can make it a bit shorter, and that is pretty good. Great, so we have our first component, which will make it now a component. Okay, this is going to be that one, and that is going to be a component. We will copy this component now. Okay, by the way, this is an auto layout. Okay, it's a horizontal auto layout which holds this element and this element. Okay, so that's the way it is. And as you see, this auto layout, if you remember when I open it, so we have all these parts, these small auto layouts that our elements are arranged in a way that we can make very easy changes. Okay, great. So now all we have to do, if I'm taking the first image, I will copy its properties, select this rectangle and paste properties, and then we have the image right there. Very easy. Okay, we're gonna duplicate it I'm gonna take this one and paste properties. I'm gonna auto layout these ones and place, let's call it place cards or places cards. No, place cards, that's okay. Yeah, so Control D or of course Command D on Mac. Copy properties, and here we're going to work a bit faster. Paste properties, going to duplicate it again. I'm not changing names and stuff because it doesn't matter really. I mean, you can put any name you want here, and the prices we will change according to the chips that we will make, so that's no problem, but you can make it any way that you want. Basically, before I mentioned the fact that I can make this one a label property, so I will do it right now. So I'm gonna click on this one and give it a call it, let's say, place name. This is the name of the property actually that I'm giving it. That is gonna be the label property. And here I'm gonna write the same as I wrote there, because when I apply it as I said, so it changes. It can change I mean, it will change the text according to what I'm writing here as I'm applying it. So let's call it some very long place name and create property. Now you will notice that this property actually has a not used within component because I didn't apply it to any layer yet. I have to double click this layer. And now, as you see, I have the option here. This is the content, and I can click on this one, apply text property, and I will select, I mean, the only one that I made so far, which is a place name. Now, what it gives us actually, if you wonder, okay, why did I actually do that? It only gives us the possibility easily without double clicking here. When I select this child component, the instance of this component, you will see that I can change the text easily here. Well, I guess, you know what, it's more comfortable working with short text. I mean, with long paragraph, I think it's not so comfortable to work with, honestly speaking. But anyway, just to understand the reason. Okay, so we did that, and let me copy this one, copy properties, the last one, and as we said, we're gonna paste. There's a shortcut, I'm not using it, I want to show you on the menu, of course. I mean, I do use the shortcut, but not now, that's okay. Okay, so we have our 4 castles actually lined up. Now we will change the prices, 179. Let's give this one a 256. Let's give this one I don't know, 432. It doesn't matter that much. And this one we're gonna give 604. Okay, good, that's fine. So we kind of like sold all our castles. Let's go for it. Okay, so we have actually this component ready. Now what we'll do now is we'll create the chip. The chip, basically, what I mean on the map, I'm talking about this one, okay? That it has actually 2 states. It has a default and a selected state, okay? So we can do something around this big, that's okay. But what I'm gonna do actually is better. I'm gonna write a number. Let's give it a 179. And now by Shift A or add auto layout, I'm creating this chip. And again, I need to just change the padding a bit. Let's give it, of course, a fill, and I'll give it round corners. I'm doing it with my keyboard actually. I'm just pressing the up arrow and it changes the numbers here, as you see. It doesn't matter if I'm passing the half height of it, it doesn't really matter. Let's give it kind of like an even number. I like to work with even numbers, and by the way, on the height of these chips anyway, I'll give it a fixed height. So that's going to be 34. This is going to be mid. And on the sides, actually, let's give it a even padding. And on the sides, I'm going to give it a 20, which is going to be like that. Yeah, I guess it can be a bit less, maybe 16. Yeah, good, great, that's okay. And this is 16. Yeah, I'll leave it a bit big. I think that's okay. I think that's comfortable to work with on a mobile map. So definitely that's good. So I'm just dragging it, hi castles, and I'm putting it here, kind of like passing on it. Hey, hi there. And okay, so this is, we're going to call it a price chip default. I can do it like that, or I can name my this is naming the component. Actually, this is the name of the component, that what will be slash, and this is the state name. Okay, I can also give the name of the property after I make it. It doesn't really matter technically wise, it's just working sometimes more in order, let's put it like that. Okay, so control or command D, I'm duplicating another one, which I will call it a selected. Okay, and now actually the selected is gonna be exactly, let's put it like this, I mean dark like that, and change this one to white, and here we go, we have our two states. I'm gonna select them both and create component set. Sorry. Okay, so we have also the price chip ready. By the way, I'm not going to interact between these components here because I'm going to change them from screen to screen, so I don't need the interaction actually here. So it's not going to be an interactive component. It will just be a component with two states. Okay. Okay, we will see how it's done in a sec. So we have this one, which just one, sorry, this one can actually be also a component. Okay, that is going to be a component which holds all the instances of this component. Component wise, basically, I think that we are done, guys. Okay, good. Let's select a 375 by 812 and call it a map screen. Okay, and now this is going to be our main stage. So let's start kind of like putting the puzzle in place. So I'm gonna take the map image, I'm gonna duplicate it, and the map image actually I'm gonna place like that, something like that. Yeah, I mean here, by the way, I can deselect the clip content and see all the map for now. Now this map I'm gonna frame. Mapsicle map, yeah, okay, I'm gonna frame it. I was just looking what's written here. Frame selection, and this will be map plus chips, because the chips, the price chips, are gonna be placed here as well. By the way, this one is going to be placed on the map and not inside the map. So I'm gonna take this one, actually duplicate it and put an instance of it already here. Okay, I'm gonna place it like so. Let me put the clip content for a sec. Yeah, this is what I want to place. I mean, I know it's a bit different from the Airbnb map, which here, by the way, you see they put only a single one and you don't have a hint on the next one. I'm doing my map a bit different, and it's going to be like that, that actually we have a hint for the continuous of the scroll here. Okay, actually, you know what, we can make it a bit shorter. Let's make it something like that. Yeah, okay. Oh, it doesn't give us the 3 dots because it fits the name. So yeah, if we keep on writing, it will. So I made it a bit shorter because I want to see the next card. And the only thing which I didn't do yet is I didn't give it the shadow. I forgot about the shadow. Rib, what's going on with you? Okay, let's give it a shadow. Effects plus drop shadow. I'm gonna give it a blur of 10 pixels, I guess, 20 by opacity. The Y position is okay, or let's give it a 3, take it a bit more up, and here 2 more. Yeah, I think that's okay. Let's see how it looks on the map. Good. You see, when you work with a component, basically you've done one, you've done them all, which is pretty cool. Yeah, okay, so we have the shadow, it looks good. And now let's do the map. I'm gonna deselect the clip content again, and now we're taking our first chip, which is going to be 179. By the way, what I'm doing is I'm dragging an instance of it by holding the Alt button. Okay, this is on PC. On Mac it's Option, and I think that in some Macs it's also called Option Alt. So you can either use it like that, or you can just basically select this one, Control D, sorry, Control C, not D. Control C means copy, or Command C. You can select this frame and Control V, and then, oh, you don't have it there. What is that? Sorry, that's a copy, and then I select this frame and Control V, and here is the chip, and then you can just place it wherever you want. By the way, I do want to make, I see a small shadow to this chip as well, because it's not seen very clearly. I mean, it does have to kind of like point out the look of it. So let's give it it's gonna be a blur of 4. I guess it's okay. The Y I'm gonna take a bit up. Y is the vertical position of the shadow, and do something like that, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's fine. And we're gonna, by the way, to copy the shadow from one to another, I mean, here it's less critical because it's black. It's dark. It's not completely black, but it's dark, so it doesn't matter that much. But anyway, just to work precisely, I can click here on the edge of it, Control C, copy, and here I'm gonna do Control or Command V, and then I have the shadow here as well. Let's go back to our map. Cool, looks perfect. Okay, so I'm just gonna randomly place them. I mean, it doesn't really matter that much exactly where they sit. It's just to show the interactions. So that's gonna be 179. Let's see. Yeah, we are in the maps, the map and chips. I'm gonna duplicate that and give it the next price, which is 256. Okay, I'm gonna take another one and put it, let's put it here. Well, you know what, let's put it here to have it like more interactive. So we'll have it here, something like that. You know what, yeah, something like that, I guess. And give it a 432 like it's written there, of course. Okay, 432. And now I'm gonna go for the edge and put one here, something like that. By the way, we can have more chips here with different prices just to kind of like have it more, but it doesn't really matter. We're focusing on the interaction now. I mean, you can put more chips here and not do anything with them, just to have kind of like more of a this packed map feeling. So you can, but that's okay. I mean, you get the main idea, I'm guessing to myself, and that is going to be a 604. Okay, cool. So now actually when we hit the clip content, so there we go, we see actually something like that. Okay, so we have the map and chips, and now let's bring to the puzzle the header, the app header. I'm gonna duplicate it, hitting the Alt, and you see that my pointer becomes double, and I'm just placing it like so, and I'm gonna place it, oh sorry, that happens, by the way, because it was placed inside the map with the chips, but actually I want it here on top. and on the frame of the screen itself. So that's going to be a center and here, and I'm going to do it in a fixed position. Basically here it doesn't matter because we're not going to scroll the screen, but in general, of course, a header which stays fixed is going to stay fixed. How surprising. Okay, now we're going to take this one and put it here, and then it's going to be aligned to the bottom and center, not for the map. It's pretty stubborn, I see. By the way, I'll show you another easy way to do that. Okay, so I'm going to drag it just outside here, X and V. Okay, now I'm going to cut it, Control or Command X. I'm going to click on this frame and then Control or Command V, and then it's going to place it inside this frame, okay, instead of kind of like fighting with it. Yeah, something like that. So this is going to be here, and good, great, we're good to go. Now the only thing that is left for us to do is the interactions. Okay, let's go for it. So by the way, the map with the chips and these components, it can all be all together an interactive component. I mean, this one and the map with the, the frame with the map and the chips, it can, but I saw no point to it because I'm just animating from one screen to another. But if you want, you can make it an interactive component, by the way, by just doing each state of it as a variant. But I like to animate between the screens here. I didn't see a need to make it actually an interactive component. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate the screen. I'm going to put it on purpose, sorry, here, because we're interacting with this one, so it's always kind of confusing to have them all on each other. And we're going to drag this one. Okay, so basically we need to do two things now: the interaction and to play with the placement of the frame with the map and the chips. Okay, so let's select this one, the first one, and I'm going to go to prototype and take this arrow and connect it to this screen actually. Okay, so it's not going to be on click, it's going to be on drag. Navigate to map screen, yes, and smart animate. By the way, the dragging interaction, when I start dragging and I leave it, I don't end the let's see it here. When I'm starting to drag, okay, let's take it from the beginning. Okay, when I start to drag and I leave it before it reaches 50% of the movement, I leave it, it goes back. You see, like it behaves actually usually in a real app as well. If I drag and pass the 50% and leave it, like that, it's gonna finish the movement till the end. This is actually the meaning of the duration that we have here, because I can drag at the speed that I want to. It doesn't have to be 300 milliseconds at all, okay? And I can take it back and forth and so on. So this is the meaning of it. I'll give it a 500 milliseconds, okay? And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this one and we'll move it something like so. Okay, so we are actually animating to the second one, and the map, we're gonna select it here, the map and the chips is gonna be like so. Yeah, something like that. That's good. Now we're gonna do the third screen, and by the way, actually this one, we're gonna hook up to the same screen, but now it's going to be on tap actually, not on click. The reason that it shows here on click and not on tap, on click is with a mouse and on tap is mobile. The reason is that here I need to show prototype settings. I'm clicking this button, and here on the device I'm selecting a device which is the same width of my screen, reminding you the width of my screen, of our screen here, is 375. Usually the screen height, or in a lot of cases, the screen height changes because it's going to be the height of how much content you have here. You can have also a long scroll on the screen. Okay, so on the device, I'm going to select, let's take an iPhone 13 mini, which is 375 width. I mean, the name iPhone doesn't matter to me at all. This is what matters. Okay, and now you will see our interaction on tap, because we are working with a mobile screen. On tap, Smart Animate, let's give it a 400 milliseconds. Ease out is fine. Yeah, I guess that's good. Let's give it a test drive. I mean, this one, by the way, for now is going to be dragged to here. So on drag, and this is going to be a 500 when it folds back. And this one actually, but now, okay, now I see the problem is that this one is behind. So let's change the Y position of it. Okay, I'm gonna, okay, select this one, and I'm gonna select the Y position of it. Let's give it a 580, something like that. Okay, good. And here, actually, I'm gonna give it a 580 as well. Okay, good. Yeah, we can easily fix that. That's no big deal. And this one actually, prototype, and it's gonna go to this screen, 400 milliseconds. Good. So now let's hit the play and already see what we came up with. Let's see how it's working and so on. Let's give it a second to load. Okay, so now, okay, here we go. So now the drag works perfect, and hitting this one works perfect. The only thing that left for us to do on the 179 chip, by the way, is change its color, because now actually this is the first one. It's already on this castle. We can do that easily because we created two states selected. So this is the selected state of it. And here it's going to animate between the selected state to the unselected state. Let's see it happening now. It doesn't refresh good in the application, which I don't like it that much. Actually, on the web browser, it works better, but anyway. Yeah. Okay, so let's give it a sec to load. Okay, so now you see, now we have it uncolored because it came out of the selected state, which works good, and the 256 has to go into a selected mode. So this one will go into selected. Okay, good. And let's do quickly the two other ones. I'm gonna take this one and this one. Actually, now if I'm going back to prototype, this one actually we're gonna drag into here as well with the drag interaction, Smart Animate, 500 milliseconds, and sorry, like that. And the chip, second, yeah, we gotta change that. So okay, so this is going to be a drag to here, and this one, this chip, yeah, stubborn one, is going to be dragged to here. On tap, yes, Smart Animate, 400 milliseconds, good. And now, yeah, we need to change this one to be default. This one is going to be selected. This one we're going to move into here, okay, because now we are on 432 per night. And this one, of course, is going to be dragged not to here but to here. Yes, like that. On drag, yes, exactly. Okay, looking good. And let's do the that's going to be the Yeah, this one, that's going to be the last one. The on drag, by the way, of course, is going to be, sorry, is going to be to here. Yeah, because it copies with the interactions. So let's just make sure that we are not, yeah, this one, by the way, is good. And let's see, yeah, we need to hook them all to every, yeah, to all the other ones, but yeah, anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna select this one and actually drag it to here. And as I said, of course, here I did only 4. If you want, you can keep on doing more, but I mean, on designs and prototyping, if you just want to show a behavior, so that's pretty cool. Okay, the only thing that I didn't do here, by the way, yeah, I want to move the map with the chips. Yeah, this one, I want to move it actually to here. Okay, and now we also have the 604 revealed, and this one, basically, if I want to see the exact x and y, so that's minus 364 and 30. So here we can actually select that, and we're going to give it a minus 364 and 30. Yeah, okay, cool. So now let's see that it's all connected to each other as it's supposed to. This one is going to be on a default, and no, you know what, actually this one here needs to be like that. Okay, good. The 604 now will be selected, and this one, actually, let's see where it's hooked up to. So on drag, it's going to go here. That is good. This one, actually, the 604 is going to be connected to here, okay, because on tap it's going to bring us to here. On tap 400 milliseconds, that's cool. And this is on drag, yeah, that's fine. And here, by the way, this one is going to bring us to screen. Okay, so that's a smart animate. And this one is going to go here, and it needs to go also, let me take, sorry, let me take this one down a bit. Yeah, so this one is going to be by drag, also take us to here. On drag 400 milliseconds. Sorry, this is going to be a 500 default back if I leave it and it goes back. And basically looks like that's pretty much it. Okay, let's give it another play and let's see if all is working great for us. Let's let it load. Ta 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 ta. Okay, so drag 1, drag 2, drag 3, 4, actually, yeah, to the 4th point, which is great, and it works perfect. Good. And now hitting this one. Okay, so we didn't hook up this one. Let's hook it up now. Yeah, I see it's not hooked up, so it needs to be hooked up to here. On tap 400 milliseconds. Great, so now it's gonna work. It's not. Why is that? Yeah, we just need to refresh it. Yeah, that's what I hate sometimes about the app. It doesn't refresh properly. Okay, so okay, now we're gonna hit it, and now it's gonna work, and now it works, and now it works. Okay, good. This one I didn't hook up, so I'm gonna fix it till the end. I'm stubborn. I'm not gonna leave anything not working. And this one, actually, that is hooked up. That is hooked up. Good. So now, actually, okay, last time. Okay, let's see that all is working perfect. Okay, so we have first, second, third, goes back and back and back. Perfect. Okay, we have done it. Nice. So there you go. Interactive map, fully interactive, very nice, behaving smooth. Just another small thing for the last closure. I have noticed that I have missed something small in this auto layout, which I do want to show you guys how to do. Here, by the way, you see this small heart icon, which I forgot to place in that content card, and it is important for me that we'll do that properly. So basically, let me just quickly make one. I mean, I forgot to bring here, but anyway, let's do a quick heart icon. Yeah, I just want to kind of like, close it all the way to the end and make sure that we did it properly. Wait, let me do it like that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll fine tune it a bit. Yeah, this is going to be like that. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit not super precise heart icon, but anyway, that's okay. Yeah. Mm, yeah, that's okay. Anyway, that serves our purpose right for now. And let's do it by stroke. Oh, by the way, that can be fixed easily by just deleting these dots, and that's it. Okay, good. So we have the heart pumping, something like that. And yeah, we don't need the feel, and let's give it a lighter stroke, something like that. Okay, good. It's not super precise, but that's okay. So listen up. So basically, we have this auto layout here, right? And then we can just take this heart and drag it inside this auto layout, and it's going to be here. I'm going to make it smaller like that, even a bit wider. Yeah, something like that. And what we'll do now actually is, you know what? I'm going to place it here. 1 second. Bear with me for a sec. I'm going to place it here. And I'm going to take this heart icon, which needs to be actually in a frame. It's better. But anyway, and this one, and make it an auto layout. And I will call it, let's say, text plus, or let's call it rating. Okay. Rating plus icon. Okay, and now I'm gonna make it a horizontal one, and now what you're gonna do actually is give it a fill container. Okay, fill container, and then we can actually do this. We can put it on space between. I meaning now actually they're packed, they're one after the other, and we can give it easily a space between, and it's going to throw it to here. Okay, and what we can do, by the way, for not having this icon so kind of like tied up to the edge of it, we can give this auto layout padding, the auto layout which is holding it, because this one actually is going to be on a fill container, and this one we can give a padding. Let's give it a padding from this side actually. You see, I'm going to bring it up, put it like that, and there we go. That's it. So now it's done. So this is how it's done basically. And of course, now that you see that, because we have worked with the components, so we have them all fixed right here. All of them now have a heart icon. Okay, that's it. Short one. I just wanted to make this closure and not have it kind of like slipped off the way, because I've noticed it after I've done, or I finished with the tutorial. Okay guys, that's it. Sorry for that, and great that I didn't miss it. That's about it guys. So I hope you found this tutorial, of course, practical, and you learned from it. And thank you so much for being interested in it. I would be very happy for your like, and more happy if you subscribe to my channel. Of course, very cool tutorials are coming up ahead, and see you in the next tutorial. Thanks a lot guys. Bye for now.